What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Yes, just like seamless. Look at that. KG goes off the match view and you get redirected straight here to the full-time view. Manchester United 2, Fulham 1. The Premier League season ends with a victory at Old Trafford. And who would have thought, actually, by the way, to all of those people, those naysayers out there, that after we lost to West Ham, they would go, we're not going to get top 4. It's over. We're going to blow it. 4 consecutive victories. We only needed 3. We didn't even need 9 points in the end. We only needed 7, but we got 12. That's the kind of form Manchester United are in at the moment. Now, it must be said again today, did we play our best stuff? No. But it doesn't matter because it's victories, it's momentum. And as we head towards the FA Cup final against Manchester City at Wembley next week, it's another victory at Old Trafford. And to be fair, actually, I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was a really good game to watch. Started pretty slowly. There were some changes. Fulham go 1-0 up from a set piece. And then not long after that, they get a penalty. And I was sitting here watching it going, this is why Ten Hag doesn't like to make a lot of changes. And he didn't make a ton, did he, really? But he made a couple, particularly to the defensive side of things. And I thought, this is why. And then David De Gea saves a penalty. And to be honest, even that, from just thinking from a goalkeeping point of view, of sort of a psychological point of view, that could be a pretty big deal come next week. If we ended up in a penalty shootout against Manchester City and you've got a goalkeeper that just 7 days prior had saved a penalty at Old Trafford, that does mean something. That gives you confidence. And also as well, if De Gea saved that penalty because of research that he and the goalkeeping coach had done, then he'll believe in that system. So again, I think that's a significant part for him as well. So Dave saves, and I thought he actually had a really good game. He made some big saves throughout the game, kept United in it. And then we go and get our goals. We have the likes of Sancho scoring, Bruno Fernandes scoring in the second half. I want to talk about Sancho today. I want to talk about Bruno today. I want to talk about Fred today. I want to talk about Harry Maguire today. We're going to be getting to your calls shortly. There will be a link that goes up on the United View YouTube channel. All you have to do is go to the community tab and find the link there. It's not up just yet. I will let you know once it's up and we can talk about a variety of things. Of course, it's members only. So that post only goes up exclusively to the members. So if you do want to call in, you do have to be part of the UVMC, and you can become a UVMC member by following the link in the video description. It's the pinned comment in the live chat, depending on what platform you're on as well. There's a join button as well. So yes, there's plenty to talk about today. Let's see what some of you guys are saying in the comments as well. Be sure to hit the like button too. What have we got here? Jay Blackman says Dave saves. United Supporter says De Gea. Jason says David De Gea's save. Switch the game. And it's true. I saw Rich say that actually on the match view. Big up to everyone on the match view today. It was KG, Rich, Sol, and Rafa on there today. And I saw Rich say that it's a completely different game. If David De Gea doesn't save that penalty, it's true. It absolutely is a completely different game because 2-0 is very different to 1-0. Gosh, that's a dynamite Michael Owen analysis there, Owen. But no, it's true, isn't it? And we did look a bit on the ropes, certainly, didn't we? We looked on the ropes. We didn't look. We looked a bit shaky to start things off with. Harry Maguire. I do feel like today must have been his last game, because. And you know me, I always really try and be fair when it comes to Harry Maguire. I try and be fair because I think, you know, once people take it away from football with Harry Maguire and the insults get like personal and it's stupid. But Man United and Maguire they're not made for each other. They're not right for each other. It hasn't worked out. And I think it's a very, very high possibility that Harry Maguire would have played certainly his last match at Old Trafford as a United player. It might be his last Man United game, you know, forever. You know, unless he comes on in the FA Cup final or something like that. I mean, he's definitely not going to start by any stretch of the imagination, but maybe he might come on, you know, if you're 1-0 up and you're trying to get everyone behind the ball. I don't know. But my feeling is that it would have been his last game. Now, the link is officially been posted to the United View YouTube channel page. Again, if you are a member, go to the community tab. Members only will see the link there, and you can call in and you can have your say. I do want to bring you some takeover news just very, very, very quickly, because it was some takeover news that actually broke during the game, which is quite interesting. And it's a bit of an update from Simon Stone. Actually, I should probably backtrack just a smidge because earlier on in the day, there was a report coming from Sky News talking about the latest when it came to the takeover at Manchester United. And they suggested that Manchester United directors met on Thursday to discuss the progress of its £5 billion plus auction, and were updated on the sale process by the Rain Group, of course, the merchant bank facilitating the sale of United. A source close to the auction said they did not opt to enter into exclusive negotiations with either party. While there are no exclusive negotiations yet, Ineos, according to Sky News, remain the leading bidder for Manchester United, despite a further offer from Sheikh Jassim. Nevertheless, a further proposal remains possible. Hold on to that thought, because that's something that Simon Stone has picked up upon as well. A signed deal with either bidder for Manchester United is said to be unlikely prior to United's FA Cup final against Manchester City next weekend. Ineos's bid is said to value, again the keyword being value the whole of Manchester United at somewhere between 5 billion and 5.5 billion. Part of the justification for a high valuation for United resides in potential future control of the club's lucrative broadcast rights, alongside a belief that arguably the world's most famous sports brand can be commercially exploited more effectively. Why did they use that word, exploited? Because that makes it just sound very exploited, because that's all it's about. Now, I mentioned there was some news developing during the game. It came from Simon Stone. I'm not going to do the impression. I don't have the time. And he basically did a screenshot of a piece that he's written for BBC Sport. And maybe the key aspect of this is that despite all of the stuff that's been going on, despite Ineos being maybe the leading candidate, and despite Jim Ratcliffe maybe being the person who's leading the race at the moment, and despite Sheikh Jassim putting in another bid, a fourth bid, I guess the key thing here is he said, quote, it's been Simon Stone, the latter put in a fourth bid more than a fortnight ago, but there is a feeling Sheikh Jassim may be tempted to go higher, which is essentially what Sky News were also saying there, that actually what we could be looking at is a fifth bid from Sheikh Jassim for Manchester United. So that seems pretty significant as well, doesn't it? Let's get to some of your calls. Let's go to Lux Hill. What a way. This is the only way we can start off the full-time view. Lux Hill season is, well, the Premier League season is over. What did you make of the game, and how you feeling?
Mate, I enjoyed that game. Honestly,
Yeah.
before the game, I tweeted out saying that, it's the last game of the season. I just want to see some good football and start prepping for next week. But I did not expect a Sancho goal.
Yeah. What did you make of Sancho? I mean, in the studio, there was very much a discussion of he's got to start. Is he, and this is the thing with KG, is everyone's the answer to the right-hand side, but is Sancho the answer to the right-hand side now?
I mean, Eric Ten Hag said that he prefers him on the left, innit? And I think he's much better on the right. There's no way that he's gonna dislodge Marcus from the left hand side. So it's one of those situations where if he's willing to move himself to the right side and that make that his thing, then he could provide some real competition for Anthony. So we got to see what happens.
Who would you start next week then? Because Ten Hag said before kickoff that the ankle injury that Anthony got stretchered off for wasn't as bad as they thought. So now you've got a situation where he said Anthony's going to be ready, so Anthony could start. But then Sancho has been playing on the right, and he's been playing well. So who do you start? And bear in mind, it's City, and City's a different kind of game because you need people to be doing their jobs and follow your instructions. So who do you pick?
I mean, it's about who's actually going to be his counterpart from the Man City side. Who's going to be on the left-hand side? If
I don't know. I mean, might be Grealish, maybe.
I mean, in the fullback position, who's going to be
fullback position? I think this is the thing with Pep, because it might be someone like Nathan Ake. He might be left back.
Yeah. That's if he goes with the back three, or something like that.
Or sometimes he goes with the back four recently, where he plays like centre-backs as full-backs.
So in that case, honestly, if I was in Eric Ten Hag's shoes, I would probably stick with Sancho just because as a precaution, Sancho is the more fit one out of the two. Obviously, we don't know how serious Anthony's injury was, but just out of precaution, I would keep Sancho there.
Mm. I think he's going to start. I don't think Anthony. If Anthony was injured enough to be stretchered off, Thursday, you almost can't start the next weekend.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, mate. So I don't know if Erik Ten Hag is gonna be willing to pull the trigger on that decision. If Anthony's not as injured as he said prior to the game, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Talk to me about David De Gea as well today, because penalty save, and not just penalty save, but saves in the second half as well. Gets the Golden Glove trophy. What did you think of him,
mate? Trust David De Gea to have an absolute worldie in the last game of the season. You know what I mean? Like the penalty save. Us as United fans, we've always got heart palpitations when David De Gea has to save a penalty, and then out of nowhere he just saves one in the last game of the season. So it's just one of those.
Since 2014.
I saw that stat. Yeah, I saw that stat from Lockdown.
Well, Old Trafford. Yeah, first since 2014 Old Trafford. He did save one. He saved two last season in the same game against Watford. But Old Trafford, first since 2014. And that, even just saying the year, you go, that's a long time ago. And then when you hear the player he saved it from, Leighton Baines, you go,
mate, nah, honestly, David De Gea, he's, this whole season, man, how people have been coming for him. I've even kind of slowly lost faith in him. Yeah. But it's just one of those situations where you're like, the situation we find ourselves in as a club, I don't know if we're going to be able to find a replacement for David De Gea, or be able to fund a replacement, for De Gea. So we got to keep him in the number one spot till certain changes. But I still have faith in him. I think he's gonna have a good game against City. And I hope the rest of the team does okay as well.
We'll need him to have a good game against City. I mean, there's no doubt, like when Erling Haaland, we've played City twice this season. First time at the Etihad, Erling Haaland was scoring goals. I mean, it was 4-0 at half time, He took the piss, Second
was that
game,
the 6-3 game?
The 6-3 game. The second game, he barely had a sniff, Erling Haaland, but I just can't see that second game being what is replicated at Wembley in terms of Erling Haaland not doing anything. Like, there is going to be chances in that game, and David De Gea is going to have to make saves. Like,
there's going to be more at stake as well, bro. That's the difference. There's more at stake here when we go to Wembley, because it's about pride. I think this is something that I've been thinking about, and I was having conversations with people in the United View Discord this morning about the treble and whether it's going to be seen as an achievement. And I think it's definitely going to be an achievement if they beat us. Yeah. But it's always going to be seen as the dirty treble because of the way they got to the position of, even challenging our greatest achievement.
Well, because of the finances.
The finances, the way they've gotten to... Yeah, exactly. I think the finances is the main thing, because there's always going to be an asterisk on their name.
Thing is with me with that, it's just like I feel you. I understand that, and I look at the example of, I think it's Marseille won the Champions League in the late 90s, and I think they won the league as well. And then there was a load of I think corruption and stuff involved, and eventually it got taken away from them. But still, if you talk to Marseille fans, it happened. They don't care. They, even if it might not technically be in the rule books or anything like that, it counts. And that's my feeling on it, is that even if they beat us at Wembley next weekend, and then they win the Champions League and they've got the treble and all this kind of stuff, and then whenever this thing gets resolved with the Premier League, they go, no, it wasn't right, and all of your trophies get taken away. But it still happened. We watched it happen, and the City fans will always be able to hold that. I don't want any wiggle room on this. I just want it to have never happened in the first place. And stopping them, how sweet would that be? We stopped them, and let's face it, they're better than us. They are better than us, and we stopped them. It would be magic.
I mean, magic. Honestly, I don't want to see them lift that trophy. It will hurt my soul, but it's not going to stop me from looking at this season as a massive achievement. Where we have found ourselves in third place after the season that we had prior to last season, this has to be seen as a positive. And there's gonna be people, if we lose to City and we don't stop their treble, there will be fans who are gonna look at the team and they're gonna point their fingers at the team and Ten Hag and the board and whatnot. And they can do that, but United, we didn't expect them to be where they are right now, and I think that still has to be seen as an achievement.
Massively, it has to be seen as achievement. Finally, how would you rate the season out of 10? Premier League season, anyway.
7.5, 8.
That high?
Yeah, man. Honestly, if you had a chat with me at the end of last season, I would have told you that we are gonna we're gonna be terrible. I was about to swear there. We're gonna be terrible, and Eric Ten Hag came in. He changed the culture. He got rid of the bad weeds in the club. I'm not gonna say who they are, but he got rid of he got rid of he's made changes and he's brought a culture to this club. He always mentions it in press conferences. It's about changing the culture, and he's done that, and we have found ourselves with a trophy and in third place. So big up to Ten Hag, man.
Big up Ten Hag, indeed. Pleasure as always, Lux Hill. Let's get to another call. It's time to stay now. Stay now.
Yo, what's good?
Don't plug with the gimmick, yeah? The jacket's on. I tell you what, as well, the commitment to the bit right now, because it's warm at the moment, yeah?
I'm making sure I've got my juice. Yeah, I'm not going to show it. I've got my juice. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm making sure I'm staying cool for this stream. Don't worry. And I'm keeping the gimmick up. And if we win the FA Cup, yeah, topless. I'm just going to be here topless.
You got to. You know me. I never forget.
I don't know what song.
I never forget these things, yeah? So I'll remember.
I think we should put it out to the community. What song should I pick?
Oh, that is a good one. What song? Let us know in the live chat. What songs he got to sing without a shirt on? I mean, it's already getting ridiculous. It's already getting crazy. I know. What did you make of the game today?
You know what? Somebody said to me the other day I should sing the song.
Oh,
hold on. Are you hearing me properly? Because I think I'm cutting out a little bit there.
Yeah, I think you're cutting out a little bit. Oh. Not those technicals. Wow. I tell you what, Joe Blackman's on the Virgin Media Wi-Fi. He's like me, the Virgin curse, yeah? Which, how you perceive that, it's kind of wild. Let's get to another call. Lucas Chan. Lucas, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right, man. Oh,
good.
What a season it's been.
What a season indeed. When do you think?
I'm going to take us back. Like we all thought, at the beginning of the season, top five. We're like, let's get top five, style of play, and a good cup run. We've had 2 good cup runs.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Yeah.
What a season.
What a season indeed. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going back to one of the first full views of the summer, and this is actually after I think we probably lost our first couple of games, and we were like, it's just not happening. Like top 4, it's not, with chaos, and to finish third. And actually, I said it at the beginning of the stream, after we lost to West Ham, there were people saying we're going to bottle this top 4. Like the top 4, it's just not going to happen. And we've managed to win 4 in a row, beat the teams we need to beat. And how much would you put that to Ten Hag? And Lux Hill said about it, standards, culture.
Oh, everything's down to Ten Hag right now. Everything, but the players that believe in his system, those are the ones. Because clearly Maguire doesn't really believe in it, or he's just not good enough.
Yeah. I'm not even sure it's necessarily a belief of him. It's just it's just he just can't do it, can he? And do you think today then was his last game for United? That's the last time we're going to see him.
I hope so. I really hope we just move him on. Just please cut the cord. Part of the open heart surgery that Ralph said last year we needed. Let's just hope he's part of the surgery that we get, and we get Kim and Jay.
Oh, that is such an upgrade, isn't it? You think about it.
Hey, I got my tattoo in Korea. I hope it's a good omen.
Oh yes, of course, yes. You got the tattoo. I saw the final finished artwork on that. It was tremendous. Yeah. What do you think when it comes to, then we spoke about this earlier on, but what do you think when it comes to Jadon Sancho? Do you think he starts in the FA Cup final? Is he starting to find his way a little bit?
I think he worked his way into starting for next game for sure. He's definitely looking to grow in some confidence over the last couple games, especially. But like we just need everyone to be at their A game come Saturday. Like, we can't have any stranglers. No passengers on Saturday. Everyone needs to be 110% final game. Just give it their all. But overall, season's still pretty good. Even if, as long as we just do not get like blown out by City, that'll be a good season.
Yeah, that's
I still want to win, but I just I want to fight.
A good point. You bring up a good point, I think, with that is I was talking to Flex about this the other day, that we do have to take a step back and be honest with ourselves and say, look, even if we were to say we were to lose to City, but we were competitive in that match, and you still go, actually, that's still third place. That's still a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup final. Like, almost irrespective of what happens next weekend, we've still had a really good season and a better season than we thought we were going to have.
Exactly. So let's just hopefully he keeps building on to next season. Even we have an even better season next year, hopefully.
Indeed, hopefully. More cups. Maybe we get a bit closer when it comes to league. What do you think with Fred today? Fred got an assist for his for the Bruno goal. He might start.
It's Sunday. Week. Pastor Fred.
Pastor Fred settings.
Pastor
Fred with the big
settings.
grin. What did you think about his performance today?
That's what I hope to see on Saturday from Fred as well. I hope Fred starts.
Do you think he will start?
I think he needs to start. Needs to mark De Bruyne out of the game like last time we played him. And Manchester City, last time they played Man United, they lost 2-0 to Southampton. They lost 1-0 to Brentford. Hopefully it's another good omen. Omen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I wasn't thinking about that as well.
Yeah.
De Gea, where do you sit on the David De Gea situation? Obviously, saved the penalty today. Are you De Gea in? Are you De Gea? He's got to stay for a little bit.
He's not the main priority.
Right.
Like eventually we will move him on, but I don't think he's like the way some of the fans really like, we need to get rid of him ASAP. No, I still don't think he's the main priority. The main priority is we need a striker. We need two strikers, I think. Yeah. We can't rely with Martial next season. If it was my dream scenario, I hope we would get Kane and Jonathan David. That would be my dream.
Yeah.
But
I mean, look, Harry Kane, I'm with you. Yeah, you know me. I'm with you with the Harry Kane thing. Not a lot of people are.
As a Canadian, like I think I'm like, why are people hating on Kane so much? Like he's amazing. For such a bad Spurs team, and he's still pulling the numbers he is. And with Son not helping out, and Kane is still pulling the numbers he's pulling, like I don't understand it. The hate that he gets, but hopefully
he scored after 2 minutes today. I think for Spurs, I think he scored in something like 20. Yeah, 2 goals. He scored, I think it's in like 25 games or 26 games or something like that this season. And he scored nearly 50% of Spurs' goals. To your point, a bad Spurs side as well. A Spurs side that hasn't even qualified for Europe in the end. I'm with you. I don't understand, but I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think that Kane one's going to happen. I think Daniel Levy's going to do everything he can to hold on to him. Speaking of signings, though, who would you say was our signing of the season?
I definitely have to say Martinez. We just look so differently with him and the team. Like Casemiro's still amazing. I still think like both of them are equally signings of the season, but I still think Martinez, the way he just brought back defending, like just the love of defending, like I miss the high fives in the back line.
It's true. It's true. The fist bumps, the high fives, the slide tackles. That's what Leacher brings. And to be fair, I think you're right. He's brought that out of people this season. Yeah. And also as well, not only has he brought that out of people, but this is a guy that had doubters. I mean, you saw all of the, the punditry saying he's too small to play in the Premier League. He won't adapt. He's managed Jamie Carragher to apologize to him now. I'd agree with you. And to be fair, the question about who's the best signing this season is a difficult one because pretty much all of them, they've all done well. They've all, the big ones anyway, they've all done their bits. Maybe apart from Weghorst, even though he's pulled his weight.
No, the Dubravka.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't say that to Marcel. Marcel's still Dubravka. You know what I mean? He still loves him because Marcel's crazy. But he's still Dubravka. Yeah, that he's maybe not every signing, the majority of the signings. But yes, before I go to another call, Lucas, can we win the FA Cup next weekend? Will we win the FA Cup?
We got to protect our legacy. We got to protect it. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. We got to protect the legacy.
Perfect. Pleasure speaking to you, Lucas. Be sure to smash a like on the like button, guys. We've got nearly 600 people watching. Let's see if we can get it to 150, maybe more than that, 200. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Remember, you can go and watch all of the fan views that are probably going up as we speak here on the channel. You can go watch the match view, the highlights, and you can follow us on all of the socials as well at United View TV. Let's get to another call. Let's go to Amanor. Amanor, how are you doing? How are you feeling after today?
Good evening, Owen. Can you hear me first of all? Is it loud and clear?
I can hear you.
Brilliant. No, noise. Apologies, I'm on holiday at the moment, so that's why I am going from Turkey, Turkey and Lanya. Just want to say it's been fantastic to watch the team this season. I think coming from the fact that I remember last season, our last game was Crystal Palace away. We lost 1-0. And that was a really low point. I thought it could not get any lower. Then we lost the first two games, especially Brentford 4-0. At that point, I was worried for Ten Hag. I genuinely was worried for this man because you're thinking this man with these players, the players will throw him under the bus. So to go back to your question in terms of who's the signing of the season, I would have to take it further. I would say Erik Ten Hag is the signing of the season.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Given what he's had to deal with, the Ronaldo situation, the Greenwood situation, the turmoil, Glazers, the change in ownership, all of those things, he still managed to deal with that. Is absolutely amazing. So that's my feedback, and I'm sorry for the background.
No, it's all right. I might have to get to another call because it's quite loud, but I appreciate you calling in, my friend, and calling for the future. There's Amanor saying that Ten Hag's signing of the season. And I tell you what, I think if you're going to take a step back even further, you'd probably say he's right. He's right. We can talk about individual players, but they've all been united under one person. And that's Erik Ten Hag, 100%. Let's get to another call. Charles, I believe last time you were on, you played the Champions League theme. We didn't get a copyright, which was tremendous. What have you got for me today?
Well, nothing today.
Wow.
I didn't plan anything. I was gonna play the Europa League song for Liverpool, but nah, not really.
Did you see what Jurgen Klopp was saying about that? Did you see his comments? He said, "Who cares?"
Jurgen Klopp is on some. I don't even know what he's. Nobody cares. Liverpool fans were running mad at the idea that they could knock us off Champions League positions. All of a sudden, nobody cares. Anybody but Jurgen Klopp says that they are taking heads.
Yeah, that was exactly my point. That was exactly my point. I said, could you imagine, all of us, could you imagine if Erik Ten Hag said that? Imagine we bottled top four and Erik Ten Hag came out and said, look, it doesn't really matter, does it? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they're all European nights. It doesn't matter. We'd be saying, excuse me, Eric, what are you crazy?
When Mourinho told us about legacy or whatever, when we lost to Sevilla, and
football heritage, that's what it was. Yeah,
everybody wanted his head. Like, he was stating facts, but what kind of rubbish? Like, forget Liverpool. Like, those guys are dead. Like 2-0 up, drew 4-4. That's their business. That's business.
Indeed. Now, what did you think of the game today?
Last time I said I wanted a little more from Sancho. I got what I wanted from Sancho today. I got exactly what I wanted from Sancho. He was one, like, I don't know why he was on the left-hand side. I don't know what he's doing there, but the right, you see that right-hand side? Oh, my days. He has to play against City. He has to play. Anthony, even if you're fit, you have to hold the bench. You really have to hold it. Like, he has to. Like, Sancho is giving us like goals, assists from the right hand side. Anthony, it's more work rate. and no end product. You know, and against City, like I'd rather Sancho on the vein of form he is right now. Like he has to just keep it going.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's Ten Hag's decision about what does he want to go for? Does he want to go with a player in Anthony who he thinks he can trust and he kind of knows what he's going to get? Or do you want to go with a guy like Sancho who, like you said, at the moment, that you can't argue that he's not in decent form. Like the last couple of games, he's playing better. You know, he was, like you said, last game, okay, but today he was better. And in fairness, we have started to see him in the team a bit more recently. I still think he's got a lot of way to go to sort of justify the price tag and the wages, but you know, you can justify that by playing well or getting goals and assists in an FA Cup final, can't you? And in this vein of form against his old club, you never know. Sancho could be that guy. Could Sancho be the difference in the FA Cup final?
I feel like the difference will be Rashford and Martial.
Oh, really? Martial?
Sancho, Rashford and Martial. Because between the two of them, one of them is going to have to be stopping Walker from running up and down the flank, and the other one is going to have to be attacking the space in behind. Like, those two are very important to whether we score a goal or not. Because if Bruno is playing, then I would rather put Rashford at ST, because Bruno's just going to spam the ball over the top. And legs, Stones versus Rashford, I would put my money on Rashford. And Martial can do it like a good defensive job, because I don't think that's Rashford's strength. And on the right-hand side, I would play Sancho because he can hold the ball. You know, he doesn't lose the ball too much. So if we need to relieve some pressure, you give it to Sancho, he's going to keep it. It's going to stick. The problem is everybody wants Fred to play. Yes. The thing is, you want Fred to play to mark Kevin De Bruyne. It is so City-like to not even see Kevin De Bruyne start in the FA Cup final.
Do you think Pep would do that?
It's very possible. Nothing is beyond Pep. He played Chelsea without a bloody striker for no reason. No reason. He just said, watch this. Like, we all want Fred to play. What if the lineups come out and it's a midfielder of like Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, and Rodri? He might not even play Rodri. He might play Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, and Foden. And the next thing you know, like, Fred's just running around like a headless chicken. Like, if we worry about what City do, we're gonna get really confused.
That is a good point you make there, actually, because whilst I still think De Bruyne will probably start, I agree with you in the sense of you can't put it past Pep to do that kind of curveball. He's got the squad for it. Yep. You know what I mean? He's got the squad for it. And he might think, okay, they're thinking of shutting us down by putting Fred on De Bruyne. Now, I could just play De Bruyne and just say, look, he's good enough to get round Fred. It didn't happen in January, but he's still good enough. And he's still got an assist that day, De Bruyne. Or he can just say, look, I've got, like you said, I've got loads of players. Yeah, I'll just play something different. I'll surprise you. And then, like you say, then you go, what's Fred doing there? Is he just there for energy? That is an interesting point. Very interesting. When it comes to that game, Lindelof at the back, Lindelof and Varane, do you think they can handle Erling Haaland?
Of course. Have you seen Lindelof? I trust him more than I trust Varane right now, and I don't even know why. I trust Lindelof. Like, I've been watching him. Like, I don't see mistakes. He's very composed. He's very assured. Like, I think he's even like the one that's talking in the back now. I saw him telling Maguire something like, go this way or whatever. Like, he is in control right now, and I trust him. The problem is left back.
Oh, interesting.
Luke Shaw.
Go on.
I'm not too sure that I want him to play. I think we need Malacia, somebody to get tight and just be unnecessarily aggressive, because we're not going to beat City by playing through them. It's going to be more like P&P, pace and power. Like, it's going to be passion. It's going to be, Scott McTominay and Fred. Like, we need to make it like an up and down game. Because if we try to play through City, oh my days, we're going to end up like Real Madrid. Like, Modric was, I don't know what to do. Like, imagine what Bruno and Fred are going to be like.
I just think like the way we beat City is the way we've beaten them the last few years, which is just it's counter-attack, circuit pressure, counter-attack. Exactly. And I feel like Luke Shaw that's Luke Shaw's game though as well, picking out right passes, getting up and down the left-hand side, which he can do. I just feel like, with Malacia as well, whilst he's I appreciate his work rate and his tenacity and his energy. I just feel like he can be defensively, he can be suspect. I think towards the end of this season, we've seen his age a little bit and maybe seen his inexperience and said, actually, you know what? He's still got a way to go.
Yeah, but with Luke Shaw, the cross is always coming in. It's always coming in. He's going to back off. And that cross, it's coming in. And the last thing you want is a cross coming in of quality with Haaland in the box.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you need. And Luke Shaw, every time I see him, like, the crosses come in. They always come in. And Haaland, I don't want him getting a sniff of anything. That's why I say play Malacia. If Mahrez plays, Malacia is going to get so touch tight. My only problem is, like you said, he's green. So Mahrez could spin him. Like, City are a problem.
Yeah.
City are a problem.
Deliver the team talk to him, Charles. Just back through the door. City are a problem, guys. They're like, well, yeah.
Like, everybody, like, you guys need to be on something. I don't know what kind of motivational speakers you listen to. You guys need to listen to all of them tonight. But before the game, like, bro, maybe Eric Ten Hag could give them like one of those rousing speeches or something. But we need everybody on form. We need everything. Every single ounce. City cannot do the trouble. I don't care if it's the dirty trouble, the clean trouble. They can't do a trouble, period. Like, I cannot go through a day, a week, a month of when City fans are out here saying we've done the trouble. You can't take that back. We can't come after, like, I don't know, 2 years of deliberations with City pushing the thing over and over and be like, haha, they've taken your treble. Like,
I agree.
What's even that? Like,
I agree.
We need to stop them.
Finally, did Harry Maguire play his last game for United today for you?
Hopefully, he has to. There is no way he did not play.
Everyone says the same thing. Everyone goes, I hope so.
He has to. There is no reason why he should be here beyond the summer. That guy, he has to go. I'm hearing he wants to go to Italy or whatever. Like, he should go. And I see people say how much we get for Harry Maguire. We should be getting at least 50. At least 50. And it's very easy to do. Literally, we can do what everybody does to us. Just link Chelsea to Harry Maguire for no reason. Just link Chelsea to Harry Maguire for no reason. Put out a press release. Chelsea want to pay 50 million for Harry Maguire. Everybody's going to start ponying up the money. But we can't, like, they want to sell Mount for 80 million. And we're all just here like, yep. Gallagher for 40 million. What is a Gallagher, bro? Look at how Chelsea sell players. I think Bakayoko is on loan or something with like a 45 million buy option. How? Why? When?
Did you wait, Charles? Did you say what is a Gallagher?
Yes. What is that? He does nothing. Like, I saw him play against us. I was not worried. I was like, Jesus Christ! What is this? Like, what does he actually do?
50 million, man. I mean,
50, like, English tax off the World Cup form. He has to go for at least 50. We paid 80. Like, I would take 40 with 10 million in add-ons. Like, I need something for Harry Maguire. We need to stop underselling our players. Like, really, if Chelsea can be selling no-name youth prospects for like 25, 30 million, why can't we sell a bloody international for 50?
Because he's Harry Maguire. That's the price. That's why. That's the problem.
Don't worry. We'll wash him up. Like, we'll show his best highlights. England football.
He doesn't have any. He doesn't have any best highlights.
Plenty for England. We'll just... Bro, that's not even my own job. Let the marketing department deal with Harry Maguire. Like, they should sell him. They should find a way to sell him for good money. You can't tell me that we can't go to Todd Bowley and tell him, bro, Harry Maguire, England international. You want to play a back three? He loves a back three. 60 million.
60? I mean, you've added 10 on. You've got 60.
No,
it's gone from 50 to 60.
No,
you're moving very Liz Trushish. Okay, right now.
Chelsea, we have to go up. If we're charging everyone 50, we charge Todd Bowley 60 with 10 million add-ons. He will pay it.
60 with 10? It's gone to 70. It's escalating.
It's Todd Bowley. Like, I trust him to pay anything I want. Like, Talk him into it. Just tell him Harry Maguire would change your life, and he would do it. They bought Enzo for 120 for no reason. And honestly, I'm looking at him. Do you say 120 million?
No, I guess. Well, you're saying they signed him. So they signed 60 million Harry Maguire with 10 million add-ons. What, a 10-year contract?
Shit. They signed for Fofana for like 70 million on only God knows how long. Like, what's the difference? You can't tell me it's any different. Like, take Harry. I know Chelsea fans that tell me they want Harry Maguire. Take him, please.
Charles. I can only handle so much Liz Truss economics on a Sunday. Jeez. It started off 50 and then he went, and he kept slipping it in. He kept slipping it in. He went 50. I then give him to Todd for 60 plus 10 million add-ons. I went, wait a minute. I agreed. We were talking about 40. Like, what happened, Charles? Oh. Well, that was a fun call. I appreciate that, Charles. Oof, I got tears in my eyes. We've got a new member here. Nasruddin is the latest member of the UV Members Club. Remember, you can join the UV Members Club. Link to the video description. It's also the pinned comment in the live chat. Well, let's see if let's try again. Joe.
Yes, I'm a little nervous. Is the internet in though? Am I moving?
You are now, but let's see. Let's see. What points were you going to make? Is it going to be as crazy as Charles?
Do you know what? Yeah, Charles. I swear to God, he'll get us the right price. Yeah, he would get us the right price.
You were moving a bit internet-ish there, Joe. I'm nervous. Yeah,
no way.
Maybe you're back.
Can you
now.
not hear
You're
me
back
then?
now. I can hear you now.
Talk to me.
You're back.
All right.
Talk to you.
All right,
okay.
all right.
Alejandro Garnacho. Yeah, started today. Chances. What does his future look like? Do you think at United next season?
Next season, Garnacho should be challenging Rashford for that left-hand position, definitely. I definitely think Rashford should be getting challenged for that position because you know what? When the boy's on, I feel confident that he's going to create something every time he's on the pitch. Every single time. Yeah. Rashford, yes, he creates and yes, he scores goals, but you know what? He's a little bit greedy as well. Let's face it, yeah. He's very greedy. And I like it when we've got our wingers crossing in. You know, people like Sancho, Garnacho, they find players better. They do find players because they're used to linking up with other people in order to make their game better.
Yeah. Where do you sit with the Sancho discussion? We've been talking quite a lot about Sancho today, about whether or not he starts next week. Do you think he's given Ten Hag something to think about a little bit?
Do you know, this is the Sancho we all want to see, though. I mean, it's not like we don't want the boy. We all want the boy to be playing as good as he is like today, yeah? We want that Dortmund Sancho. I said in the last stream that I was on that I say give him to at least halfway next season. He deserves to get a run of games, you know what I mean? He was away saying he was injured, you know. We don't know the truth behind the injuries or whatever. And, you know, he had to go away at training camp. He's back now, isn't it? Let's hopefully see him going to next season, challenging Anthony for that right-hand position and maybe even pushing up, you know, also playing in the midfield because he's skillful enough to be an interchangeable player.
That's the thing with him, isn't it? It's consistency and it's also finding his position. But so he's played on the right today, but Ten Hag said he prefers him on the left. Like, are we still having that same discussion about what is his actual position going to be going forward at United next season?
Well, I mean, if the manager prefers him there, the manager prefers him there. But for me, I think the boy is better on the right. Sancho is definitely better. Well, that's where we know him from, innit? We play at Dortmund on the right, and that's what we saw him do his thing, and that's why we wanted him in the first place. So ever since he's come here, though, it's like everybody's been trying to force him onto the left, and I don't understand why.
Yeah,
I don't understand. I mean, every time I've seen him play well, he's been on the right. Well, not every time, but he's played very well on the right today, and I can't see any reason why he can't. We need two on each position. We've already got Garnacho and we've got Rashford on the left. So on the right-hand side, Anthony needs to be challenged too because sometimes he's doing foolishness. Sometimes
What does that mean for Facundo and Ahmad, though, next season?
I mean, they're still young. So they can still be pushing. And we're going to get injuries. Yeah, we will have injuries. And to be honest, I think our front three is, apart from the striker position, we've got too many wide players, to be fair, anyway. We do need to find out which ones we trust and which ones we want to move forward with. And with Ahmad and Facundo, we need to decide well, we could keep one for each position, and then once again, they could also be interchangeable players because Facundo plays good in the midfield as well. But I do think we need to cut loose some of these players and decide what we're moving forward with, because we've got a congested team up front, I think, apart from striker.
Yeah, I mean, I saw something today. They were talking about moving people on and bringing people in. That apparently Mason Mount was very emotional at Stamford Bridge because this is his last game. They reckon. I don't think he was even in the squad, but he's probably played his last game already for Chelsea. When you see games like today, maybe it's difficult to judge, but when you see games this season, can you see why Ten Hag wants a Mason Mount? Like, do you see that?
I can't say from this season. Yeah. I mean, I've seen glimpses of the old Mount in this season, actually, when he has actually played. Mount is not rubbish. I said this on the last stream as well. Mount is not rubbish, people. Yeah. He is not rubbish. He's definitely a player that he could do the role of Eriksen if trained well. Do you know what I mean? He's got good passes. He can dribble past people. He's a little bit more direct than Eriksen, let's be real, as well, as a player. Yeah. He's liable to get past the guy, score a goal, pass it off. He's very versatile. I'm not going to say he's going to be the bully that we need in midfield or anything like that, because if we buy Mason Mount, I still want to see someone else. So I'm not buying him for 80 mil, though. The price tag would have to be something different. By the way, I don't want Mason Mount for 80 mil. Definitely do not. Yeah.
That's the price tag. Some Charles's economics.
And we're not selling Harry Maguire for anything more than 50. And 50 would be the top that we could get for Harry Maguire, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I'll take 40 if someone said I'll take 30 for Harry Maguire. Anything, just take Harry Maguire and not alone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think he's probably played his last game for United, his last Old Trafford game, certainly for United, because even when Bruno scored today, I had to remind myself that he wasn't technically the captain. You know what I mean? He's there, and I saw the United socials are going there, Bruno Magnifico, and the only thing missing was captain. I thought, why haven't they called him captain? And I realised, oh yes, because he's not the captain.
Because that Frankenstein's on the pitch. That's why.
Yeah.
Listen, Harry Maguire. I know how nervous I was when I saw his name on the team list. I was so nervous, and lo and behold, we still got a penalty, didn't we? Do you know what the thing is? With Harry Maguire, you know there's going to be at least one mistake in the game, and we can't afford that anymore. Against City, do you know how sad I am that we don't have Lucha? He should be starting. That would be the one. That's when you was asking about signing off the season. It's true that Casemiro has been amazing. Yeah, he's been amazing in the midfield, and he has, brought that protection to the defense. But it's like that second caller, or the guy that came in after me said, Lucha was the one that galvanized the defense again, and the high fives. I missed that. Lindy's good, but he doesn't bring the same energy. Yeah, I don't feel as safe, and the energy when you feel like saving a shot is like scoring a goal to Lucha. That's what it looks like. Yeah, the high five, the hugs, the chest pumps. You're like, yes, that's my guy. Yeah, he's an easy candidate for captain after Harry Maguire goes, and if Bruno's not on the pitch, he could easily be captain.
And what's interesting with him as well, actually, you think about some of the players that could go. So let's say, look, Bruno's going to be the captain next season if Maguire goes. Mm-hmm. And then I saw De Gea, I think the last game, the armband went on him. And we don't even know what De Gea's future is really like. As of right now, he still hasn't signed a new contract yet. So you still don't know what the future is with him. Maybe next season there is a situation where Leacher or Casemiro, they become vice captain or something like that. And even that's a bit of an indication for the future. I mean, it'd be a good option. Do you think with Maguire, actually, because Lindelof, he's come in recently and he started playing really well. Do you think he's actually been sort of tarnished by playing with Maguire alongside him for so long that people have just gone, Lindelof and Maguire, they're both rubbish? Whoa. Maguire's not that good. Lindelof's all right, actually.
We've all had to backpedal. Let's not pretend, Since we saw Lindelof playing, and I can't remember what game it is. It was the first game where he played with Varane. I can't remember when it was or who it was against, but he just moved in front of somebody and put his arms out, and just stopped them getting towards the ball. And I was like, do you know what? I have not seen you act so boss-like with Maguire, because you're always nervous. And that's what I was saying as well before, that Maguire makes everybody on the team nervous. Yeah, when you don't trust one person on that pitch. Yeah, if you're a player and you don't trust one person on that pitch, Anytime the ball's going towards them, your head's in your hands, you're sweating, you're thinking, oh, what's he gonna do now? Yeah. And you then do things to try and stop that from happening, especially if you're playing alongside him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you could see that was happening to Lindelof constantly. They were all doing things to compensate for Harry Maguire. Definitely.
Yeah. And finally, before I get to another call, how would you rate this season out of 10? Has it surpassed your expectations at the beginning?
It surpassed everybody's expectations. Let's not pretend. Yeah. Who thought we'd be in the FA Cup final against Man City? Who thought we'd already have the Carabao Cup? Yeah. That's Man City's cup. They win it almost every season. Yeah. So look, and someone said that we went on 2 good cup runs this season. I would say we went on 3 good cup runs this season because we was good in the Europa League. We was good in the Europa League until we got our injuries and then, and our red card, and we wasn't able to play properly. But what I'm saying to you right now, our team, like someone else said as well, I guess the real sign of the season has to be Ten Hag because the way he has put the team together, and you have to realize as well, people, listen, this is his first season. Yeah. Mistakes have been made. He had to get to know players. He's had to find out which ones are really real. He had to start with Maguire as captain. Slowly over the season, he's realized he ain't my captain. Yeah. But he's done it the right way. He's handled the season well. He handled Ronaldo. I would have to give Erik Ten Hag at least a 9 out of 10 for this season. Yeah. And I'd even say 10 out of 10 because you know what? Nobody thought we'd finish third this season with them players that we had from last season. Remember how we felt last season, people. At the end of last season, was like, at least it's over. Yeah. Look at us now. Yeah. We're trying to go beat Man City up on the final game of the season for us anyway. Come on, people. Let's go.
Yeah, I agree because I think about all of the obstacles that have been in front of him this season. Like a lesser manager, that the Ronaldo thing would have ended him. Like that, Ronaldo could have left, but that'd always been a thing hanging over him. Do you know how crazy it is that Ronaldo left? He could only bring in Wout Weghorst, and we still came third.
Exactly. We brought a striker that can't score goals, and we still came third. Yeah. That's do you know what? And one more thing on the David De Gea thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leave him alone, people. He ain't going nowhere. And it's not what we need to concentrate on. Yeah. We all know after we get rid of Maguire, we need a new defender. We need at least 2 midfielders and we need a striker. We don't need no new wingers. We might need a left back or a right back, but actually we might need a left back. We might need a right back, but not really. It depends on who's leaving. Yeah. It depends on who's leaving. But for me, we just need a new centre back that we can trust because the only reason that Luke Shaw's been playing centre back is because we don't trust Maguire. Yeah. So we just need somebody we can trust and a striker and 2 midfielders. Leave De Gea for the next season. If we're going to buy a goalkeeper, has to be a youngster coming in ready to be fed into the team later on.
Yeah, I agree. Pleasure as always, Joe. Next time we'll probably speak.
We'll see. Listen, I want to be shirtless because I want to win the FA Cup. Yeah, so come on. Hey,
and despite the internet, I heard Thong Song. I heard Thong Song earlier on. I was like,
somebody told me I should sing.
Mad.
Somebody told me to sing Thong Song. Yeah, they said I should sing Thong Song. Get ready to sing Thong Song in my jacket, innit? So we'll see. You won't be able to see the thong because the jacket's long, innit? So it's all right.
Be sure to smash the like on the like button, guys. We'll get to one more call before we wrap things up. We're only 4 likes away from 200, so if you haven't already clicked the like button, be sure to subscribe as well, bottom right hand corner. Let's get to Sean, final call of the evening. Sean, how are you feeling after that game? How are you feeling after the Premier League season coming to an end? What are your thoughts?
Mate, I'm very, very happy, to be honest with you. I think from the last time we spoke, I remember saying that, like, honestly, nobody expected this to happen. I remember at the beginning of the season, even before the Brighton game, honestly, I was predicting 5th at the most, and I would still have called that season a success. But, hindsight is a wonderful thing, and the job that Erik Ten Hag has done is just unbelievable, mate. Like, from everything that he's had to face with the Maguire saga, the Ronaldo saga, so many problems within the squad. to put it into context, we had 58 points at the end of last season. We now have 75. That's a 17-point swing. It's a big deal. And to have the team playing the way he has with limited resources up front, I think he's done a terrific job. We've had a very good season. I won't say we've had an exceptional season because, let's be honest, we're Manchester United. But if we can get that FA Cup, I can put it up towards kind of close to exceptional. It will be unbelievable. But even then, I would strongly say a 7.5/8 out of 10 season. Very, very happy that we put it to bed with a win, and hopefully we can go to Wembley and get the result. And my belief is starting to rise, Owen, not gonna lie.
Mine too, particularly, like I said, because every single time this season it's felt like the collapse is coming, like the old Manchester United's back, whether it's losing 7-0 against Liverpool, or losing 6-3, or losing 4-0 against Brentford, or losing back-to-back away games at Brighton and West Ham, and you go, here we go. To his credit, Ten Hag, United have always bounced back. They've always overcome. And to your point, we've got 17 odd more points this season without a striker. Like, we haven't had a striker all season, and we've managed to achieve what we have. And it makes you think, doesn't it? Like, next season, if we do the right business in the summer, or at least half decent business in the summer, like, realistically, what should our aims be for next season, do you think?
As a wise man once said, it's going to be scary, but not for us. No, for realsies, I mean, to be fair, based on the transfer speculations, look, I don't want to comment too much on it. I know we are in flux with the ownership situation, but if we do have the budget we do have, and we are linked to the players and we end up getting them, which, let's be honest, compared to what United negotiators have done over the years, it's not a done deal. But if we get these signings through, mate, I think it can be a special season. Like, I'm not going to become like an Arsenal fan and be like, we're going to win the league and all that bollocks. However, I will say that we will probably have made a lot more progress. Progress. That's a funny word. We've been talking about progress for the last, 12 years, ever since Sir Alex left. And genuinely at this point, we can do real progress. Getting closer to Man City. Now we are just, I think, 14 points behind them at this point. However, we can get closer to them if we get these signings. I'm going to say a run to the late ends of the Champions League, challenging for the title. That has to be a necessity next season, and probably getting a domestic cup or two. I'm not saying the treble, not all of that, but I do think that next season can be special. But we have to put the work in. I believe that Ten Hag will put the work in. I want the signings to come before the preseason to America starts. And let's be honest, the preseason to America is very, very fluctuous. There are a lot of games we've got to go to, a lot of cities. We need to get the rhythm straight up and running before the first game of the next season. We can't have the start that we had this season. It's just because we have a magician in Ten Hag and the players who are willing to fight it out that we managed to turn this around. It can't be like that. You know, as Harvey Specter once said, if you start once behind the 8 ball, you're never going to catch up. We need a good start to next season, you know. But I do believe that it can be special if we get the players in. I think Ten Hag is... he's something special, mate. A bald man has really changed my outlook on life and so many others.
What did you think about Jadon Sancho today? Got his goal, and now there's a real debate. Lots of people have been having their say about whether he starts next weekend in the final. Do you think Ten Hag will go with Sancho, or will he go with an Anthony that's just coming back from injury? What do you think?
It has to be Jadon all day long. I am based out of Dortmund these days, and I get to talk to a lot of Borussia Dortmund fans. Obviously, they're not very happy at this moment.
I was going to say, that's a rough place to be today. I mean, I was watching that yesterday. That was crazy. That was insane.
Difficult.
Oh, wow.
Difficult. Like, honestly, we were all planning a sojourn to Signal Iduna if they were going to win. Obviously, as a United fan who's had an admiration towards Dortmund, I was willing to do that. But hey, now they're just drinking. Well, that's what they are doing, pretty much. Lots of swear words coming through. But no, for real, the reason I mentioned this was because I talk to a lot of Dortmund fans on a daily basis, and I get to hear about what they say about Sancho, even though he's not their player anymore. They love him. They still do, honestly. They really do. And they do credit him and say that this guy can be one of the world's best if he puts the work in. Look, the season has not gone well for Jadon, but I think what he performed today and how he performed the previous game, I think he deserves a start in the final. I really do, especially on the right, because I like to call it in football manager terms that Jadon Sancho on the right is basically an advanced playmaker. He's not really a winger. He's not really an inside forward who's going to cut in and go close to the goal. But he's more of a playmaker who just has beautiful 1-2 intros, 1-2s with the other players, and he's got a very good footballing intelligence. And I think we need that against City. I really do, because you see they play in like a sort of skewed 3-2-4-1 formation in a way. They don't really play with fullbacks anymore. The one who plays that is mostly Nathan Ake. Now you might be thinking that. Yes, Nathan Ake can be beaten with pace. He can't. He's actually pretty fast. So to beat Ake or to beat Akanji, whoever's playing there, you need to be tricky. You need to be able to interchange with players. And I think Sancho gives us that balance down there. I think he really does. And for me, he's not had a great season, but he's come back the last couple of games. I've always said he deserves a chance for next season or beyond. However, I think he needs to start for the final. I think next season will be the one where we hopefully get to see Sancho in his full flow, and that would be a delight to watch, because let's be honest, he's a very talented player. He really is.
Yeah, he really is. Finally, who's your player of the season, do you think? Who would you give that award to?
For me, it's a toss-up between Cass and Licha, really. I mean, look, I know Licha has been injured for a while, but Cass, the effect he's had is just unbelievable. To think some people were calling him a steady Eddie. Steady Eddie. Graham Souness, hang your head in shame. Steady Eddie. Oh, I think Liverpool could have done with a few steady Eddies, don't you, Sean? I tell you. You might as well have that, mate. Now they're going to go to all the unpronounceable names in Kazakhstan. And apparently Klopp has also said, oh, yeah, the final is in Dublin. Yeah, book the hotel.
Who cares? Who cares? Yeah,
we all know how that story goes.
And who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
As well.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't care. We don't. We're not in Europe anymore. We're gonna have the new song by Flex and KG for the Champions League, right?
Yes, exactly.
No, but on a serious note, I think that it's looking good, bruv. It's looking good. And Cass has been incredible for me. He is the player of the season, and I would agree with some of the previous callers. Ten Hag, I mean, mate, he is the signing of the season, isn't he? What he's done is unbelievable. And Cass, and obviously Licha as well. I would also put Bruno in the conversation, and Rashi, but I think the impact of Cass and Licha have been superb, because again, the defense, let's be real, the defense is the one that has given us this position, this platform. I think we've been unbelievable defensively this season, and the whole defensive unit, including the goalkeeper, including David. Yeah, they deserve a lot of accolades. A lot of accolades.
No, I agree. Pleasure talking to you as always, Sean. There you go, guys. This hour goes so quick, honestly. It's just like that. Honestly, it's amazing. And it's great interacting with all of you. Apologies if I couldn't get to your call today. There were quite a few callers, actually, which is amazing. It's amazing. This show, as mentioned, is really growing and expanding and evolving, and it's only been a really introduction. There used to be the full-time view last season. It was a bit different, but this season now it's the call-in show, the full-time view, and it's a lot of fun interacting with all of you, all of the members of the UV community and the actual members of the UV members club. So if you are watching this and you're thinking, hey, I agree with some of those points, or I disagree with some of those points, and I want to call in, all you have to do is become a member on United View. You can do so by clicking the link in the video description. It's the pinned comment in the live chat, or just click the join button and you can join not only the members club, but you can join in. You can join in the funds as well. The funds, the fun as well. So pleasure as always, guys. We'll be back next weekend. Full-time view after an FA Cup final. That could go that could go either way. That could be either just the greatest show ever, or it could just be a show that's very depressing. Either way, I know you'll join me, and we can chat, we can reminisce, we can discuss, we can have a lot of fun, we can commiserate, we can do it all next weekend. In the meantime, though, we still got a week of action until next week's game. So obviously join us every morning, and obviously with all of the latest updates when it comes to the takeover, because I'm sure there's going to be some new news, or probably no news when it comes to that as well. You can also go and check out all of the fan views as they're being uploaded currently. The reaction to the final Premier League game of the season outside Old Trafford or from UVHQ as well. And as I mentioned, plenty of more content on the horizon. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good weekend. Have a good Sunday. Pleasure speaking to you. What a great season it has been, but it's one more game to go. I'll speak to you again very soon. Peace.